Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 27 of What If Naruto was from the two greatest clans. Remember to get this one to 200 like as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the new series, What If Naruto Had Divine Powers. Go ahead and check out that and enjoy guys. And also, I post a new episode of What If Naruto was born in the Uzumaki clan. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking back to all of you. So without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Begin the intro. So, the last time we left off, Minato and Naruto revealed their perfect Susanoo as the numerous meteors came from the sky. As the both of them combined their attack as Naruto flew above the meteors, as Minato was down on the ground as he thrust the attack forward, destroying all of them. As they looked down at Nagato with their full might, and fear crept into Nagato's heart. For once, he didn't see himself as a god anymore. He saw himself as a lonely human, looking up at gods. As Naruto and Minato then put on the battle, they gave him the battle of his life, knocking the hell out of him. Before they could finish him off though, he was sucked away in a swirling vortex. Nagato was taken as the masked man appeared in front of him. The masked man used his legs, as he really think that he will simply give him his power back without putting anything in the middle of it. As Nagato cursed him, but Nagato had nothing to live for anymore. He was betrayed. Konan was dead, as he just silently took his death, as the masked man ripped out his eyes and ended his miserable life. The masked man then came back after a while, as Minato, Jiraiya and Naruto was there on the monument, as he thanked them for weakening Nagato, and he told them soon enough, the ninth tail will be his, and neither of them will be able to stop him. Some time passed after that as a lot of things went on. After the death of Itachi by Samantha and Sasuke, the masked man took them as he was the one who brought them there in the first place. Itachi smiled at both of them before he died as he told me he still loved them. The masked man took them and implanted Itachi's eyes in Sasuke, and from the numerous eyes he got, when the massacre went off, he had the perfect set for Samantha, her mother, Mikoto Uchiha, as he implanted them in their eyes. After time passed, Naruto was getting his blood boiling as he was getting even more angry. The news started to spread around the nation. Gar was taken by the masked man, and the rest of the Jinchurikis has been taken rather quickly. And to his shock, his utter shock, Samantha and Sasuke are on that team as well. As Naruto couldn't believe it, they were really going to come after his mother that helped them, his mother that grew them. And that just flipped a switch in Naruto, as Samui was telling him that he has to talk to them, to get things over with, to give them a final thought before moving on with his life. But that flipped his switch, as all Naruto sees now is death. He, this time, won't be taking any prisoners. Some time passed as all of the 5 Kages, they came towards the meeting. Oniki, showing his dislike of Minato, keeping on second-guessing Minato's theories and talks. Minato finally lashed out at him, but then a swirling vortex appeared, with the masked man arriving. So yeah guys, it was basically last where we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check out for yourself. So let's start this new episode. Where are the Jinchurikis' bodies? Naruto asks. The masked man looked at the room as he saw The sand ninjas glaring at him with so much hate, especially the blonde hair one. "So you want to bring them back with those eyes of yours?" said the masked man as he looked at Naruto. Naruto clenched his fists. "Before anything, let's talk." Before he could even say another word, the Raikage was upon him in seconds and thrust the fist forward. But he simply passed right through him, destroying the wall. The Raikage pulled himself out as he spun around a devastated kick, but it passed right through his head as the masked man stood there. "It won't do any good," said Naruto. He's just gonna make you keep on facing through him." Smart. "Now, if you kindly calm yourself. I'm just here to talk," he said. "Why would we want to listen to you?" said Oniki. "Because this talk right here will decide the fate of this world." "And how so?" asked me. As Baki and the Raikage just glared at him, Minato not saying anything yet, just examining the masked man. Up to this point, he still don't know who is under that mask, considering that he met Madara when he was much younger, and Madara was an old, shriveled up bag. And Madara was also his grandfather, which up to this point no one knows, as he just cut that from his life, not to mention it ever again. But he denied Madara offer from the note that he got from his father to never go down that path. So no one knows about this. So he knows damn well that this man in front of him is not any Madara Uchiha. But there was something very familiar about his technique. He saw something with Kakashi's eye. That eye that he got from Obito. It was the same swirling vortex, as he didn't know, but somehow they seemed connected. As it's just a theory for now. "I am here to give you the chance," the masked man said, snapping from his thoughts, "to hand over the 8 and 9 tails." "And why the hell would we do that?" the Raikage asked. Before I say anything about that option, let me tell you, there was a certain beast that roamed this world. "What kind of beast?" me said. "The beast that was created from all of them. Well, should I say, they were created from him. The 10 tails." Everyone in the room narrowed their eyes, as they didn't know what he was talking about. "But there are only 9 tails," said me. "Well, as you see, the 9 tails are from one beast, all of them splitting apart to create the bijus that you know well now. But bringing them back together would create the 10 tails," said Oniki. "Smart as ever, old man. Yes, it will recreate the 10 tails of Jube, which I would then use its power to cast a dream over this world. A world where there will be no more violence, no much hatred, no more fighting, no more suffering. People can grow up with their parents. No more loss. A world where people don't have to be discriminated for being a Jinchuriki. That is what you can call true peace. But in order to do that, I need the remaining 2 tails, 8 and 9, to create this beast and bring forth this new world. So, to create this new world, I kindly suggest that you hand over your tail beasts." "Why the hell would you want to live in a dream world?" Ace said. "There is no way I'm handing over my brother to you, so you can forget it." As he turned to look towards Minato. "Don't even look at me," said Minato. I see. You have all made your choice. Then I have no other option. I declare war on you all." Oniki and the others gasped, as May narrowed her eyes. "Do you really think that you can start a war?" she asked. "Yes, and I just did. The 4th Great Ninja War, I declare it on you all," he said, as he stood up. "If you want to die and force me to take the tail beast, you will die. But nothing will stop me and my dreams. So then, prepare yourself," he said. As he started to suck away in a swirling vortex, he turned towards Naruto. "The next time you see them, they will not be the same as last time. Let's see you defeat them now," he said, as he sucked himself away in a swirling vortex, leaving everyone there. Only he was standing there, despite his hatred for the man. Right over there, he has to create an alliance between them to stop this holy war that is coming. But does Masked Man really have that amount of troops to start a war. But it doesn't matter, they have to make precautions. He then turned towards Minato. Minato, knowing the dangerous fact right now, we have to create a 5-way alliance and turn our entire force towards this masked man and this upcoming war. As much as I hate to say it, I agree with him, said Oniki. We have to put our efforts into this. Right now, him having 7 of the tail beasts, if he chooses to attack any one of our nations that possess one of the tail beasts, it will be impossible to stop him. So, he's right. As Kurosaki was shocked, she never thought she would see the day when her grandfather would agree with Minato, as she was beyond shocked. He's right, the Raikage said. We need to pull all of our forces together as Baki stepped forward to unite the nations to stop this threat. As they turned towards me, I wouldn't want to live in a dream world. Of course I'm in, she said. Kiri will support in this war. Then it's settled, said Mifune. We will have recurrent meetings so we can talk and create strategy to fight off any upcoming offense that's coming against us. But what about the tail beasts, said Mifune. Well, the 2 remaining Jinchurikis. I have that covered, said the Raikage. I have a place that we can put them. And not even the masked man can get him, no one. As he looked towards Minato, you can trust me on that. Knowing the dangerous fact that if Kushina is left at Konoha, the village would probably get ransacked and destroyed again. He couldn't chance that, and he know that if the Raikage trusts his brother to stay at this place must be well secured. Meanwhile, Naruto was just standing there. As those last words were going through his mind, they're not the same as last time. But it doesn't matter. Whenever they meet again, he would make sure to end their life. No more second chances. Nothing. Time skip. A few weeks later, things went well, as preparations came by very quickly. The nations were all rallied up, given one unique headband. As all of the forces were combined, all of them joined together. Currently in a rocky terrain, 2 people were overlooking. As they looked at the endless field ahead of them. As they looked up in the sky to see the lightning flashing, thunder raging. As Samantha looked over at her brother, there is no going back, she said. It doesn't matter now, Sasuke said. We will bring forth this new world. In this new world we can live our life again. Without hate, without anger this time. And we will be able to see mother and father, and even big brother again, she said. As Sasuke looked towards her with a nod. He's gonna try to stop us, she said. It isn't going to be the same as last time, Sasuke said, his Mangita Sharingan spinning dangerously. As Samantha stepped beside him, if it comes up to it, we will have to do anything to stop him, she said. Because I don't think that this time he will forgive us. We're going after his mother. Despite everything, he's gonna try and kill us. If it comes to it, we will kill him before he gets us, said Sasuke. The only thing Samantha could do was nod, because she knew if Naruto had any last feelings of saving them, that would be gone now, as she knew that he was coming to kill them if they ever see each other in the battlefield. They then heard something behind them. As they turned to see a swirling vortex open up, the masked man emerging to show a new mask. A white mask with 3 commas on it, 2 of them showing 2 eyes, one of them the Sharingan and the other the Rinnegan, and another comma at the top. It's time, he said. The both of them just look out back, as they then turned back to each other and gave each other a nod. Meanwhile, at the Turtle Island. So, are you and my son ever gonna get married? As Kushina was currently talking to Samui. As Samui is one of the guards, here to keep them safe. Despite this island literally being on the sea and constantly moving, she was still here, and Kushina wanted to talk to the woman that was dating her son. As Samui looked at her, well, we're still kind of young, don't you think? Well, if you two do love each other. Oh, have you said that yet? Asked Kushina. Well, said Samui, as she remembered what happened a few days ago. Flashback. Naruto was currently at Kumo, sending off another report to Kumo from Minato, saying that he could fly. He was the fastest one to get here. As he was currently in Samui's house, she was sitting with him on the bed. I don't think that I can help them anymore, Naruto said. They are coming after my mother. Despite everything, I thought that they would never sink this low. After all that happened between me and them, I thought my mother was one person they would never hurt, seeing that she was the one that basically grew them. I don't blame you, she said. They have gone too far. And they are part of the group that kidnapped Yujito. And even if you did, I would never forgive them. She was my best friend. And I don't know. I know that she's already dead by now, but her body, we can't even give her a proper burial. I promise you, I will get back her body and revive her, Naruto said. As Samui was currently resting on his chest as Naruto was lying down in the bed, she snuggled up his chest even more. She then pulled herself up, looking at him deeply in the eyes. I love you, she said. As Naruto looked at her, I can't explain it. Despite everything that's been going on, for these times we have been together, I've never felt this way about anyone before. As Naruto looked at her with a smile. You know, I wanted to say that, but I thought because of the current situation, I wouldn't say it until I return. But I love you as well, Naruto said. I don't know, but it seems like you have touched something deep in my heart. She smiled as she planted a gentle kiss on his lips. The gentle kiss turned to a full make-out session. Breaking away from each other, the both of them started to pant heavily, and Naruto saw a look in her eyes as she slowly started to remove her shirt. As Naruto's eyes faltered a bit when he saw those massive jugs right in front of him, slowly unclipping her bra, it made him blush even harder. She smiled at that as she started to kiss him again. I know I said we should wait, but I think this is the perfect time, she said. Are you sure, Naruto asked, as he didn't want to push anything. I trust you, and I love you, she said, as she started to kiss him as he kissed her back. Back in the real time. Hey, Samui. As Samui shook her head. What happened? You kind of spaced out there. Oh, sorry about that. Well, we did say to each other that we love each other. And I suppose you're right. Well, after everything is over, we could get married. We already do love each other. Kushina smiled as she was happy that her son was happy. Kushina then heard rapping as she sighed. As she turned to see B coming towards her rapping, Samui sighed. I understand why Yujito is always punching him now. He's really annoying. Meanwhile, at the Intel department, the Raikage, Minato, Inoichis, and the other censors were there. As Inoichi was one to send report back to the field, the other censor watching a huge water bubble. The troops has all been spread out, ready for any wave of attack. Oniki was leading a huge group. Baki was leading a huge group, as they all were waiting for the attack to come on them. The man then suddenly froze, as he could feel the chakra signatures, the numerous amount of chakra signatures, as his eyes went wide. Report, said Inoichi. Shikaku sighed as he knew that this would just be troublesome. Meanwhile on the battlefield, the group watched as they were by the shore to see the numerous of enemies coming out of the water. Those white things, all of them had smiles on their faces. But that was not what surprised them. It was the coffins that were coming up everywhere, and to their shock, as Inoichi got the report from the battlefield, he then turned towards Minato. As Shikaku looked at him, what is it? The ninjas that are arriving on the battlefield. They're the same description from what happened when Orochimaru invaded and attacked you. The same similarities to the first and second. Reanimation, said Shikaku. As Inoichi nodded, the Raikage clenched his fist. We prepared for this, said Minato. Send out all the sealing team to apprehend them. The only way that you can stop them is to seal them away. Tell the sealing team to get moving. As Inoichi relayed the information. Back on the battlefield, they're reanimations. The sealing team is the only one that can stop them. We have to slow them down until they get here. As the white Zetsus and the reanimations start to move forward, attacking the group ferociously. Meanwhile, back on the island, I hate to be mean, but can you be quiet, she said. As B looked over. What, you not flown my rhymes, he asked. I'm sorry, but I don't really like them, she said. The moment she set foot on this place, he is just keeping up with that idiotic rapping that she really didn't like. Samui looked up in the air as she felt something. It was strange. She didn't know what this feeling was, but she could feel it. Something was off. As Killer B had Samehata on his back. A few weeks ago, Kisame came for him to attack him. But with the help of his brother, they end up removing Kisame's head, and this sword took a liking to him, so he kept it. Samehata started to shake. As Killer B stopped and looked up in the sky, as he saw a storm just suddenly appearing. Samui got to her feet. What's wrong, said Kushina. As Haku, along with two other Konoha ninjas arrived, as they were here to protect Kushina. As two Cloud ninjas arrived as well. As the storm was getting dangerously close, but it was like it was coming down to them. Samui's eyes went wide and a flash of lightning came down right on the turtle island, smashing into it. When the smoke and everything cleared up, she was shocked. Standing there was her. She couldn't believe it. Looking at those eyes, that face. He dyed his hair, as it was now white, coming down to his back. Those eyes looking back at her. Those green eyes just staring into her soul. That tattoo on his arm for lightning. Nori, she said. Huh. Little sis, I guess you haven't heard. That has changed a long time ago. It's the storm of Kumo, he said. As she couldn't believe it. All of them then had to jump away as a massive burst of wind came from the sky that pelted the area that they were. They then realized that B didn't jump away with them. As they looked back to the smoke to see him on the ground. To see two of Samehata's spikes through his arms. Samehata started to shake violently until it was pulled off his back. And all of a sudden, Samehata opened his mouth wide as Kisame crawled out of it with a smile on his face. It seems like my plan worked, he said. How are you alive, said B, his arms slowly healing up. Well, Eight Tails, after my supposed defeat, you destroyed a clone, not the real me. I've been waiting in here for the opportunity to take you. And now that I have backup, he said, looking over at Nori. So you're my supposed backup? Yes, I was paid handsomely by that guy with the mask to help you in your quest to gather the tailed beasts, the 8 tails and the 9 tails. Brother, you do realize what they're doing, right? It doesn't matter, little sis. So if you don't want to die, I suggest you. He couldn't get to finish a sentence as a burst of chakra came out of her. As lightning started dancing on her body. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. To see your face again. Huh. So you activate your family bloodline. I'm impressed. I never thought a weakling like you could do that. She clenched her fist tight as lightning started cackling on her body. Without any notice, she burst into pure speed coming towards him. He simply smiles as both of them start to clash. Kisame grabbed onto Samehata as it steals some of B chakra minute ago. As he felt his body, as he felt the power coursed into his veins. The smile on his face, looking at all of them. So the 8 and 9 tails. Well, I suppose he will be done up there soon. But I suppose I can take the both of you. He had to dodge several Senbon needles. You're not going anywhere near them, said Haku. I remember you. You were that flunky with Sabusa, weren't you? Do you really think you can take me? I do, she said. Because I won't let you touch my precious person, she said, as she smiled at Kushina. Kushina smiled back even though she was on her guard. As B got up. Yo, Edo, I'm gonna need your chakra for this, bro, he said. B, stop your idiotic rhyming. You remember what happened last time? We can't take him for a joke. I know, Edo. So pump me up, yo, B said, raising his hand, as he was coated by the A-tailed chakra as he dashed forward. Meanwhile, on the battlefield, we can't hold them off for much longer. They report back. Damn it, how long does it take for the sealing team to get there, said Minato. They're just a couple distance away. Inoichi report back. They will be there soon. As Minato wondered, where is he? On another section of the battlefield, Temari was facing her toughest opponent. It was the third Raikage. Neither of them could get through his defense, as the man was like a walking tank. She smiled when the sealing team arrived, but it didn't matter. He just brushed them off like they were nothing. Meanwhile, back at the station, what? Said the Raikage as he stood up. I need to get there now. None of them can stop my father, he said. Raikage-sama, you can't do that, said Mabe, his assistant. This is just the first phase of the war. We can't send you out there right now. But who will stop him? He said. Meanwhile, on the battlefield, Temari was watching as her man got teared right through. There was no other stronger wind style user than her. How was they supposed to stop this man? The Raikage was thrusting forward with his fingers pointing towards them when a sudden boom dropped from the sky, halting his progress. Everyone watched as they waited for the boom to clear. They all saw him, the man that took down the leader of the Akatsuki with his father. Naruto, said Temari, as Naruto turned back towards her with a smile on his face. Is any one of you here in contact with Inoichi Naruto asked? Tell him to link up with me. As a report was sent, Naruto, is that you, said Inoichi. Yes, can you put me through to my father? As he was connected to Minato. Dad, I made it. What took you so long, said Minato. I just had to get a few things ordered, Naruto said. I am ready now though. As Naruto beat his thumb and wiped it across his shoulder. Summoning Jutsu! Everyone watched as the sky was illuminated with fog of the summoning. When it cleared, at least 20 dragons emerged, covering up the sky. As the shadow was large, everyone looked up as Kage landed beside Naruto. He was no longer the same Kage. He was even bigger than his father now, landing on the ground cracked under the weight. As he looked down at Naruto, you might look scared to them but not to me, Naruto said. Huh, I'll melt you, know that, said Kage, breathing small flames out of his mouth. If you say so, said Naruto. Hey guys, Naruto said as he looked up, spread out across the battlefield. Remember what I told you, the ones with those dead eyes. Well, you guys can tell from their chakra signature. As Naruto gave them a salute as all the dragons dispersed. Kage then looked around as he opened his mouth and sent a flame towards the third Raikage. The man simply placed one finger forward as he thrust right through the flame. Kage then released lightning from his mouth that teared through the ground, destroying his path of running. He then turned around and flapped his giant tail on the ground, creating a massive shape of the earth that blew the Raikage away. Naruto flashed over the man's hand, covered in lightning, as he drove it right towards the man's face. But to his surprise, the man snapped open his eyes. He drove a fist towards Naruto's gut. Naruto twisted his body just in time. As the fist barely passed him, a hand came from Naruto's shoulder and grabbed the Raikage's wrist. Another grab onto his shoulder. A third hand came from Naruto's waist and grabbed the Raikage on his back, as Naruto spun him over and slammed him into the ground, siphoning away his chakra as the man started to crack. Everyone watched in awe as the man that neither of them could take down, this boy was simply taken down with ease. As Naruto placed his hand on the Raikage's head, starting to go through the mental connection with the chakra link, as Naruto trailed it. Meanwhile, Kabuto was currently in a cave with a smirk on his face. Behind him was Anko. as he was moving all of his puppets on the board. Unknowing to him, Naruto found his chakra signature, the link between them. Naruto then pulled as he ripped out the soul straight out of the third Raikage, releasing it, making the body crumble. Kabuto was watching as he was shocked. What just happened, he said. Naruto came on the battlefield and then gone. He then clenched his fists. Those cursed eyes, he thought to himself. As Kabuto had a sneaky feature now after the masked man enrolled him into his team to help him on the battlefield, him using the Edo Tensei. Naruto didn't walk away as the third Raikage's body just crumbled away. The group was looking at him in pure awe as they couldn't believe it. Naruto then turned around towards Temari. I found the location of the one doing this Edo Tensei. I'm gonna go there and stop this. I'm gonna leave Keiji behind to help you, okay? Oh, okay, said Temari, as she was just so shocked. As Naruto took off with incredible speed. Dad, Naruto said, making the contact link again. I found him. He's in a cave. I know exactly where he is. I'm gonna go there and stop this Edo Tensei. Once we do this, they will just have those white creatures, Naruto said. Be careful, said Minato. I will, said Naruto, as he took off with immense speed. Meanwhile, on another section of the battlefield, as Mew was facing off against the current Tsuchikage, as Mew started to move back, he was being overwhelmed. Despite everything, the Edo Tensei seemed to be constricting some of his real power, as he's not fighting how he wished to fight. Mew was then surrounded from all sides, as attacks raging from fire to lightning came at him. Seeing that point, not wanting to get completely obliterated, Mew quickly split himself into two. Onki quickly seen that attack. When the smoke and everything clear, don't let him get away, he said as he scanned the area for Mew. Meanwhile, with Kabuto, as he couldn't believe it, the sealing team was overwhelming his Edo Tensei, sealing them away, and one of his greater pawns, Tago, just got completely obliterated by Naruto. He clenched his fist in anger, but it doesn't matter. He has the best one, despite the masked man telling him not to use it. It will be the best thing for him to bring on the battlefield now, to put fear into their hearts. As he pulled a pebble and placed it on the board, Mew went up towards a platform as he landed. The other group was regrouping as he has taken away all of the Edo Tenseis on the way. As Temari looked over, Tsuchikage-sama, she said, have you dealt with the ninjas on your side? He asked. Yes. Naruto also arrived and helped us. Dealt with the third Raikage. Seems that boy is useful after all, said Onki. Of course I'm useful, said a voice. As Keiji landed, with Naruto on top of his head. Naruto? What are you doing here, said Temari. Don't worry, I'm just a wood clone. The boss sent us out. He needed to do something before creating us, so that is why I'm so late, sorry about that, he said. So, who is this guy? That's Mew, said Onki. He's the former Tsuchikage. To defeat him will cause a... Onki stopped when he saw another coffin arriving beside Mew. The coffin lid didn't get to open properly as it was blasted open. As all of them went silent and Onki's eyes went wide when he saw the person. Meanwhile, in the department, the bubble started to behave wildly, as the man could barely contain it from popping. What is going on? What is going on, said Minato. I don't know. It seems someone arrived. Probably another reanimation, but this power. As he was surprised, this one made the bubble literally change form. As Minato wondered who could this be, Inoichi's eyes widened when he got the report. What is it, said Shikaku. The report is, it's Madara Uchiha. Minato's eyes narrowed hearing that. So he has finally showed himself, said the Raikage. No, it's not him, not the one that was wearing the mask. This is a real Madara Uchiha. Said Minato, as he looked over at Inoichi. As Minato looked at the bubble to see, it changed in shape because of the weight of the man's power. And he's a reanimation, Inoichi said. As that made Minato's eyes went wide. Could it really be? Meanwhile in the battlefield. Hey, I've seen that face before, said Naruto. On the statue of the Valley of the End. Is that? Oniki nodded. Madara Uchiha, he said. But he's a reanimation, said Temari. So how is... I don't know. But that's him. As Oniki remembered a long time ago, when Madara told him to not associate his name with Hoshirama ever again, when him and Mew was there. Who is the caster of this reanimation, said Madara. As Mew turned towards him. Hello there, my name is Kabuto. So you're the one controlling this? Yes, I am currently helping one of your allies, I suppose. He wears a mask. I have created this body special. You're my best reanimation. You're even past your glory days. Huh, you know what I was in my glory days, he asked. Not really, but now I can assure you you're better. Is that so? Well, Kabuto, I will have to test that fact for myself, said Madara, as he looked out towards the battlefield. Their clothing showed that they're from different nations, but their headband signified one. They're currently allied, all the 5 great nations to face off against us, stopping us from gathering the last 2 tailed beasts. Is that so? Well then, if I'm better than my glory days, I suppose I ought to test his power, he said, jumping off the stone platform, as Mew landed beside him. Naruto stepped forward, as Oniki looked at him like he was crazy. Despite who you were, you never just walk up to a man as Madara Uchiha without feeling the battle out first. So you're him, Naruto said. Madara Uchiha, the man who worked alongside Hoshirama to create the hidden leaf, but you then turned against it. It seems you know a bit, boy. Who are you? My name is Naruto Uchiha, Naruto said. An Uchiha? And you're fighting on the opposite side. Why is that? I thought you would be fighting with us, being an Uchiha and all. Well, despite who you are, I'm nothing like you. But I am the one that's gonna be stopping you, Naruto said. Madara then heard a growl as Kage stepped beside Naruto. A dragon? How is this possible? I thought they were a myth. Scums like you don't deserve to know us, said Kage, as he heard from his father that Madara Uchiha was once searching for all of them the Dragon Land. But seen from the protective barrier, he was never able to come in there. Is that so, said Madara. So, Naruto Uchiha was it? You believe you can take me on? Naruto looked at him as he slammed his hands together. Of course I do. Because I'm not alone. I carry the fire of will with all those that was in front of me, he said with a smirk. And also, my great-great-grandfather did it once. And I'll do it again. Madara's eyes widened, but he couldn't say anything as a tree burst from the ground. 3 vines started to spread out everywhere. He flipped back and went through hand sign, fire style. Majestic destroyer flame, he said as he blew out a large stream of flames coming towards Naruto. But it smashed right into the giant tree, as the tree took it head on, saving Naruto from the impact. Impressive. For you to have both Uchiha and Senju. Does that mean? Have you awakened those eyes of a god, he asked. As Naruto looked at him. Judging from your face expression, you know what I'm talking about. Not telling me, are you? Madara asked. Why should I tell you anything, Naruto said. You have piqued my interest. I never knew there was such shinobis in this time. But before we dance, may I ask you something? Do you know of a Uchiha called Minato Uchiha? Naruto narrowed his eyes. How do you know my father? A smile came on Madara's face. I should have known, he said. So, that makes us family, he said. Naruto looked at him confused, as Madara just simply smirked. Enough talk. Let's dance. As the both of them rushed forward, the moment they clashed, Madara frowned as he jumped back. Disappointing. I thought that I would be facing the real you. You're nothing but just a... He couldn't finish that sentence as a massive tornado of lightning and flames rushed towards him. He had to quickly flip out of the way as he went through several hand signs. He breathed another massive wave of flames. The water group quickly jump in front of Naruto as they all release a stream of water, stopping massive flames. Seeing Naruto stand up to him, they all got their will and the courage to fight. "Charge!" one of the men said. After out in the stream of fire, Madara smirked as he rushed towards the group. Clings and clash could be heard as the battle started wildly. Meanwhile, across the battlefield, all of the people were watching. The information quickly got to them. Don't be alarmed, they are on our side. The people started to get hope as they saw the massive dragons start to step into the battle fray, annihilating these white Zetsus, and the reanimation crushing them with a swipe of their tails. As they just pray to God, whoever sent these dragons, they thank them with all of their hearts. Meanwhile, Kabuto had a smirk on his face, as he knew that sending out Madara was the right thing to do, as the man was completely annihilating the army. He doesn't know where Naruto is, but it doesn't matter, he cannot stop. Madara was just a clone. Madara would soon dealt with that. Kabuto then quickly sent something as he had to jump away, as a massive explosion tore through the wall as he turned to face. "So this is where you've been hiding, Kabuto." As Kabuto was shocked. How did you find me?" "I sensed you through your reanimation. I should have killed you a long time ago, you know that." Kabuto got on guard. It seems you managed to find me. But it doesn't matter, killing me doesn't mean stopping the reanimation jutsu. I already have a plan for that. I studied the scroll as well. And I studied the second Hokage formula of the reanimation jutsu. You think you're the only one, Naruto said. You may have tweaked it a bit, but with these eyes, I can see through everything. Kabuto took off his robe as he threw it away. It doesn't matter, he said, showing his new form. I am a sage now. You cannot defeat me that easily. Naruto slammed his hands together as a aura washed over him that smashed into Kabuto, making him feel a full force. You think you're the only one that's a sage, Naruto said, as the markings appear in his body. The walls start to crack. The ground started to buckle under the weight that Naruto was producing out of his body. But guys, we end this video right here. Go ahead and check out the new series, What If Naruto Had Divine Power? And I enjoyed that, guys. And I also posted a new episode of What If Naruto Was Born in the Uzumaki clan. So I do hope that you guys enjoy. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. And thank you for all of your help and your support, guys. And yeah, without further ado, I'm out for now. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.